Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. Now in today's video, I want us to take a look into the latest controversies and debates. Now today we are tackling the fallout from Beyonce's historic Grammy win for Best Country Album. But what should be a celebratory moment has been made by artivism and outrage, courtesy of this viral rant from this palm color woman. She's not the only one who's angry about this. Now, in a shocking display of entitlement and bias, this woman unleashes a venomous tirade against Beyonce, questioning her acting abilities, her surprise at winning, and even implying that the Grammys are rigged. But what's perhaps most revealing is her comparison of Beyonce to other artists and her apparent disgust at Beyonce's victory. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of people are angry. They're not happy that Beyonce got this one. And I must say that a lot are palm color people who thought maybe a palm color person would get this, but they got shocked that Beyonce got this one. Now, as we watch this woman's rant, it's clear that this isn't just about music. It's about artivism, privilege, and the persistent devaluation of Black artistry. But I won't let her have the last word. So in this video, I will be sharing reactions and insights from different perspectives. So be sure to watch until the very end. So with that said, let's break it down. Let's hear other people's views on this. I will be right back.
First of all, Beyonce is a terrible. We know that rigged. Oh my god, I won. Come on. Second, if I can find a clip later, I will put it up. Did you see the look on Billy's face? That was tears of frustration. She was frustrated because it's like, what? Beyonce has enough. She has enough credentials. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, it's going to be Chaperone, probably Charlie XCX, or Billy. And then, of course, they call Beyonce. The look on Billy's face just really said it all. And this is not hate. I love that there's Black representation in country music now. I really do. But with how insanely popular Brat was, Hit Me Hard and Soft was, and Midwest Princess was, I believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Don't get me wrong. I used to love Beyonce. I loved, and I still do love everything that she stands for. And I love that she is a beacon to so many Black women out there. And I think that that is so amazing. But it will never, ever, ever sit right with me that she supposedly is for all of this liberation, but she has not said a word about Pally and has backed that happening, has backed the of thousands of innocent people. She actually physically backed it. And like I said, she's a billionaire. She hoards resources. She hoards money. She doesn't redistribute her wealth like she should. If she did, she wouldn't be a billionaire. If she did, her community wouldn't be struggling as much. So I don't have respect for Beyonce anymore. I'm sorry. She's too powerful. She has too much money. She has too much influence, and she doesn't need any more awards. With that being said, side note, I have to throw this in there. The Quincy Jones tribute was my absolute favorite part, and I will not accept a Grammys that is not in February from this day forward, period. Thank you so much. I know from first glance, not liking Beyonce very much so largely appears as anti-Black. I don't think to say that I don't like Beyonce. I think it's billionaireist, and I think billionaires are anti-Black because capitalism is anti-Black. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that one day she redistributes her wealth and she pours into her communities and pushes to get reparations. But until then, I think she's tricking y'all. I didn't want Billy to win. I wanted Chappell to win. You want to know why? Because on Twitter, Chappell openly said that the DNC are rules. She called it like it is, while Beyonce is up there parading her daughter around with G-side supporters. So, like, can you blame me? Like, that's just as much oppressive as anything else. So it's quite the contrary. I think that she can do better for marginalized groups overall. I think she can do better for Black people, period. Y'all deserve better.
So when a Black person gets snubbed at the Grammys, they're just not talented enough. But if a white person gets snubbed, the Grammys are rigged. Okay.
And when you say her community wouldn't be struggling as much, what exactly do you mean? Because if you're going to say something, say it with chest. I think my favorite part of the video is the fact that you had to adjust your white hood. I mean, gray beanie, right before you got into it, you were spewing. You know what I mean? Seen a video on your page where you talk about being a white person who has unpacked your whiteness. Did you repack it or what? In that video where you talk about unpacking your whiteness, you talk about how you love seeing white people dragged for yeah, it's your turn, babe. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The angry white winter pipeline has got to be studied, because the way y'all always go to activism the second you are upset is actually crazy. It is okay to want your fave to win. It is okay to be upset that your fave did not win, but y'all know that y'all can be upset without being racist, right? It is important to me that you know that. But also, it's like, y'all can be upset that your fave did not win, but I have not seen one valid reason as to why someone else should have won over Beyonce. Y'all want to bring up streams. This album was everywhere. That album was everywhere. That's not what the Grammys are about. It is not clarity contest. It's about impact. The impact on the music industry, the historical significance, the cultural significance. That is why Cowboy Carter won. Outrage is disingenuous, especially your outrage about Beyonce and her being a billionaire, because when someone was calling out your fave, Chappell Roan, and her contributions to capitalism in the music industry, wasn't this you?
The music industry is an industry in a capitalist country, in a capitalist society. And there's only so much you can do. The whole reason we're decentering celebrities in the first place is because they're human beings. And we need to stop having such high expectations of them. That is the whole point. And to make a video like this over some boots is just so tone deaf. None of us are perfect.
And this is why I will never take this conversation about Beyonce being an unethical billionaire seriously, because y'all like to stop and start this conversation with Beyonce. Furthermore, in a video where you were explaining why you didn't talk about any other billionaires and only focused on Beyonce, this was you.
For me, I have ADHD, so I see something. I was watching the Grammys, and so I was like, oh, this is like coming out right now, so I should post about it right now to get the views.
If the only reason you want to talk about a topic is because it's trending and it'll get you views, you don't get about that topic. Activism is performative. Call it a J-Lo concert ticket. I'm not buying it. Hope this helps.
Hey, quick question. If the Grammys is so rigged because Beyonce won for Cowboy Carter, why wasn't your people screaming that it was rigged when Taylor Swift won Album of the Year so many times when her album didn't come close to the other albums that she was competing with, i.e. Lemonade, Self-Titled, or Renaissance? Because those albums should have won Album of the Year. I didn't see you crying and complaining about it then, right? Bratz was a phenomenal album, and it brought electronic music back to the forefront, but it wasn't as generational and it wasn't as important as that Cowboy Carter album. That Cowboy Carter album literally was Beyonce saying, hey, black people, let's take country music back to our roots, back to where it belongs, which is black people. You as a white woman who claims you support the black community and try to uplift the voices of the black community should know that. But no, your white side came out, your inner came out, and you don't even realize it. And also, you say that Beyonce didn't speak up for the pro-pally movement. Instead of worrying about what a black woman is saying or speaking up about, maybe you should make sure the pro-pally movement are being checked for this and anti-blackness. Or matter of fact, non-black people as a whole in the pro-pally movement, maybe you as a white woman should uplift your voice and be like, hey, pro-pally movement, maybe we should stop being anti-black. So until you collect your people in that movement for their anti-blackness, until you do that, don't worry about if a black woman or a black man or a black person in general is speaking up for a movement or not. How about that? Respectfully.
You wanna know what's crazy? Everything that you said could be applied to Taylor Swift. But because she's a white woman, we all know you're not gonna apply that logic.
So this is what we're doing. Y'all keep forgetting that this woman has been in the game for 26 years. Beyonce, Giselle knows Carter has been putting foot and belts in this industry for years. And I'm damn near 30. I've been at this since I was 18. Billie has been doing it for a decade. Did she deserve it? Yeah. But she was happy that she lost to Beyonce. Anybody that's happy to lose to Beyonce is a good sport. None of you understand that none of us are in the realm that we... If you think, how about you get up off and hit video? How about you sell out tours? How about you do... But since you can't, shut up, and whatever you said is no.
There's something about Beyonce that gets y'all anti-blackness out. Like, seek help. And her community, Lily White, stops trying to think you know anything about systematic oppression. And How can one woman change it when it's, again, systematic? Only people that can change it is the white man that's in charge. The white people in charge that did it for years. And saying Beyonce has too much, something's wrong with you. No matter how much you try to pivot and be like, oh, I love, like in this whole like video, like, oh, I like black people. You're proving you don't. Again, have the energy for people like Taylor Swift. Do that. Do that. Because billionaire status too. But no, she's a white woman, so you won't do it. Why do you want to take the shine away from a black woman finally winning Album of the Year? Like, y'all are just so anti-black. It's sickening. Sickening. And the fact y'all never had the energy for Taylor Swift, but always for Beyonce, and the only thing that's difference between them is their skin color. Yeah. Your anti-blackness is crazy.
Yeah, y'all. I just for proof, so people who like, oh, nobody's saying that, nobody's doing that. This is how y'all come in. This is how y'all come in. I can't wait for Trump to erase this month. Y'all are weirdos, and I need y'all to know it. This is not normal behavior. This is not normal behavior. Here you go, baby. You wanted the floor. The floor is yours.
Cowboy Carter won Country Album of the Year. Black Americans made country music. Country has been predominantly dominated by white people, even though it was originally made by black people. And black people have felt uncomfortable in the country music scene due to this. Cowboy Carter won Album of the Year. I need all these people who have all these and prejudice and hurtful things to say about Beyonce to think for a second. Beyonce just won Album of the Year for a country album as a black woman from the South. I don't think y'all understand how deep that is. And I don't think y'all understand that because a lot of y'all think black American people have no culture. A lot of y'all don't understand the impact because of that. Despite rap being our culture, despite hip hop being our culture, despite the way we talk, the way we dress constantly, the way we do our hair constantly being appropriated, somehow y'all got on the internet knowing the impact that black Americans have and decided to say this country album that this black woman made was not impactful enough for her to win Album of the Year. So now I'm going to this and I'm going to say a bunch of things because my favorite artist who didn't have an album that was as impactful, not that it wasn't as good, not that it wasn't a good album, wasn't as impactful, didn't win. Now I'm going to say these things, not only about Beyonce, but to black people as well. And the worst part of it is you have popular creators allowing this to go on in their comment sections and they're hush mouth about it. Black popular creators hush mouth about it. Despite it being Black History Month, and despite that being probably one of the most impactful and positive things we have had for the culture in a minute, besides Not Like Us, despite that, y'all still decide to be ignorant towards black pain, black suffering, and how we express that through art. Will there ever be a time where y'all respect black culture, or are we gonna have to deal with them every time one of our people win?
Now, Beyonce has really sparked controversy after she made history at the Grammy Awards, becoming the first black female artist to win Best Country Album for Cowboy Carter. The groundbreaking win came as the superstar collected the prestigious award at the ceremony in Los Angeles. Now, the achievement adds to Beyonce's remarkable Grammy legacy, with the country album victory marking another milestone in her boundary-crossing career. The win was announced at the Crypto.com arena where the 2025 Grammy Awards took place, with Taylor Swift, the star tasked with presenting the award. Now, Cowboy Carter emerged triumphant in a category that has traditionally been dominated by palm color artists, marking a significant moment in Grammy history. Now, just this statement makes us understand why a lot of palm color people are upset, because obviously they thought a palm color person would win, because traditionally it has been dominated by palm color artists. Now, in her acceptance speech, Beyonce expressed surprise at the win, telling the audience I was not expecting this. The singer paid tribute to those who supported the album's creation, saying, "I want to thank God that I'm able to still do what I love after so many years." Now, she also addressed the issue of musical boundaries, stating, "I think sometimes genre is a code word to keep us in our place as artists, and just want to encourage people to do what they are passionate about." Now, the emotional speech concluded with gratitude to her collaborators. "I would like to thank my beautiful family, all of the artists that were collaborators. Thank you. This wouldn't have been this album without you. I'd like to thank God again and my fans, and I still am in shock." Now, Swift also reflected on her own bond with the genre and award, as she said, "It's an honor that has gone to great artists who I admire so much." Now, she paid tribute to country music legends, nothing past winners including the Chicks, Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn, George Strait, Faith Hill, Vince Gill, Alison Krauss, and Shania Twain. While Swift was all smiles to hand over the award, Beyonce's win soon sparked a fierce debate on social media, with country music fans less than convinced it should have won the major going. In fact, someone went as far as to brand the entire voting process a joke and slap in the face to other nominees. Now on X, one viewer raged, "No, Beyonce does not deserve to win a Grammy for Best Country Album. Cowboy Carter is not an authentic music album. The Grammys are a complete and total joke." "I'm sorry, but Beyonce's winning Country Album of the Year is a joke." A second agreed before a third weighed in. "Beyonce winning a Grammy for Best Country Album is a ridiculous slap in the face to all the actual country artists. What an absolute joke." The criticism kept on going from a fourth who fumed, "Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year. What a effing joke. OMG, I'm sick of everything being rigged. Justice for the real country singers. This Grammy should have gone to Miss Lainey Ethan Wilson." Now, others were more diplomatic as they weighed in. "Beyonce is insanely talented. Her transition to country music was insane, and the music was good. Giving her album the Country Album of the Year award is basically a joke and an insult to the awards. This isn't a Comeback Player of the Year award. What are we doing?" However, some fans were left overjoyed with the award win, with one arguing, "I'm shedding real tears. Beyonce, I'm so happy for you, the first Black artist in history to ever win Best Country Album. Bey is always and forever reshaping the culture." Now, Beyonce led the night's nominations with 11 nods, including 4 in the country division. Her country nominations included Best Country Song for Texas Hold'em, Best Country Solo Performance for 16 Carriages, and Best Country Duo Group Performance. Now, Beyonce joins an elite group of powerhouse women nominated in all 3 top Grammy categories this year, Record Song and Album of the Year, alongside Swift, Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, and Sabrina Carpenter. Now, somewhere, Adele may have been crying Sunday night, though we know for sure that Lady Gaga and Billie Eilish shed some tears when Beyonce finally won the Grammy for Album of the Year on Sunday. Her album took home the biggest award of the night, earning excitement from attendees and the audience online, but also vindication for Queen Bey. Now, back in 2017 at the 59th Annual Grammy Awards, Adele's 25 beat out Beyonce's Lemonade for Album of the Year, where Adele used her acceptance speech to honor Bey. Now, the artist of my life is Beyonce, and this album, to me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental. A teary Adele said to Beyonce, who mouthed, "I love you," from the audience. Now, the perceived snub kicked off plenty of discussion as to whether articism within the Recording Academy was to blame. Prior to Sunday, only 3 other Black women had won the Grammy for Album of the Year. Natalie Cole in 1992, Whitney Houston in 1994, and Lauryn Hill in 1999. Beyonce's win in the category came for her 5th nomination for the event's top prize. Now, last year, while accepting the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award with their daughter Blue Ivy by his side, Beyonce's husband Jay-Z called out the Academy for the oversight. "I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than anyone and never won Album of the Year," he said of Beyonce. "Even by your own metric, that does not work. Think about that. Most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. She became the most awarded artist in Grammy's history in 2023 when she earned her the Grammy Award for Best Dance or Electronic Album for her celebrated record, Renaissance. Now, she went into the Grammys this year with a career total of 99 nominations, marking her the most nominated artist in Grammy history. But some thought an Album of the Year win seemed like a longer shot this time around, potentially given the musical genre debate over her Act 2 Cowboy Carter album. Now, drawing on country music, folk, R&B, gospel, and more, the album wasn't fully embraced by the country music community. The project was hotly debated in November 2024 when she was not nominated for a single Country Music Association award. Country music star Luke Bryan weighed in on the debate, saying everybody loved that Beyonce made a country album. Nobody's mad about it. But where things get a little tricky, and if you're gonna make country albums, come into our world and be country with us a little bit, Bryan said in an interview on Andy Cohen Live. Like, Beyonce can do exactly what she wants to. She's probably the biggest star in music, but come to an award show and high-five us and have fun and get in the family too. And I'm not saying she didn't do that. Country music is a lot about family, he added. Now, Beyonce has gone on record that she hasn't always felt welcome in that corner of the music family. After dropping Cowboy Carter, she posted on social media about the artist backlash she received after performing her song Dirty Lessons with the Dixie Chicks at the 50th Annual Country Music Awards in 2016. The criticisms I faced when I first entered this genre forced me to propel past the limitations that were put on me, the Grammy winner wrote in a social media post last year. Act 2 is a result of challenging myself and taking my time to bend and blend genres together to create this body of work. Now, she dedicated her Album of the Year win to Linda Martell, the first commercially successful Black female country artist. Beyonce's The Linda Martell Show interlude on her Cowboy Carter album also serves as a tribute and has helped introduce more people to the now 83-year-old singer and her music. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you, our viewers, have to say? Share your thoughts, your views as well in the comment section, and let's have a conversation there. Thank you for always watching, and see you in our next video as we bring you another interesting video.